We have here in the chamber today a literal Nazi. His name is Yaroslav Hunka, a Waffen SS soldier who pledged allegiance to Hitler, fought against our allies in the Soviet Union, and was complicit in the Holocaust. This man's a criminal. Not a great look for us.
Good evening, I'm Krenny Babes, and Canada is a fucking joke.
We've got some latest picture, this time I believe from the Canadian capital. The Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelenksyy continues his tour. He is now, there we go, touching down and speaking to the Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau. He will no doubt be trying to make the case for continued help in his campaign against Russia's invasion of Ukraine. He has, of course, in the last week, seen the US President Joe Biden, about which we were talking with Sean Bell earlier, and we will again at the top of the next hour.
Canadians know this is a question of right or wrong. Canadians know that, yes, it is incredibly hard for Ukraine to continue to stand against Russian aggression. And let's be honest, it's hard for the democracies around the world who are there to support their citizens, who are investing for the future, who are challenged with a challenging economy around the world to continue to step up as Canada has with close to $9 billion in aid for Ukraine. But we will, because the cost on Canadians, on our lives, on our world will be so much greater if Putin wins this war that we will and have to stand every single day until Ukraine wins this war!
Get the fuck out of here, Tommy.
You motherfucker! I almost had him! You stuttering prick, you! Frankie, was he shaking? I wonder about you sometimes, Henry. You may fold under questioning.
There he is! Oh, that's him!
There he is, Zelenksyy. Go home!
Get out of our country, Zelenksyy! Get out of our country! Pay for your fucking war! Pay for your fucking war! No more globalism! No more authoritarianism! People up there are fucking starving! Fuck the WEF! We know who you work for! We know you're an actor!
As new generations form their understanding of the world, we must make sure that the lessons of the Holocaust do not go untold. We must continue to confront anti-Semitism, hatred, and intolerance in all its forms. Earlier this year, our country and people around the world were shocked and dismayed to see Nazi imagery displayed in our nation's capital.
We have here in the chamber today Ukrainian Canadian world veteran from the Second World War who fought the Ukrainian independence against the Russians and continues to support the troops today, even at his age of 98. His name is Yaroslav Hunka. And I was going to say he's in the gallery, but I think you beat me to that. But I'm very proud to say that he is from North Bay and from my riding of Nipissing-Temiskaming. He's a Ukrainian hero, a Canadian hero, and we thank him for all his service. Thank you.
I want to please ask all colleagues, particularly those in the Conservative Party of Canada, to make sure that we do not politicize this issue. I don't think it helps anybody. I think we need to make sure that we move forward, recognize this mistake, and stand in solidarity together to reiterate our commitment to Jewish Canadians, but also to Ukrainian Canadians and the people who are fighting for freedom, for peace, and for justice in Ukraine right now. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Obviously, it's extremely upsetting that this happened. The speaker has acknowledged his mistake and has apologized. But this is something that is deeply embarrassing to the Parliament of Canada and, by extension, to all Canadians. I think particularly of Jewish MPs and all members of the Jewish community across the country who are commemorating Yom Kippur today. I think it's going to be really important that all of us push back against Russian propaganda, Russian disinformation, and continue our steadfast and unequivocal support for Ukraine as we did last week with announcing further measures to stand with Ukraine in Russia's illegal war against it.
I would like to ask for unanimous consent to adopt the following motion. That notwithstanding any standing order, special order, or usual practice of the House, the recognition made by the Speaker of the House of an individual present in the galleries during the joint address to Parliament by His Excellency Volodymyr Zelenksyy be struck from the appendix of the House of Commons debates of Thursday, September 21st, 2023, and from any House multimedia recording. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
And because these parliamentarians are idiots, and I'm using it in the actual definitional sense, they are unintelligent buffoons. They either have an IQ below 80 or they have an understanding of history below 50. They're actual idiots. They don't understand the history of World War II. I was thinking about it earlier today. It's like, everybody says the Soviets were the heroes because they fought and defeated the Nazis. The Soviet regime was responsible for the deaths, the killing of anywhere between, estimates are 32 million to 120 plus million people over their 70-year regime. The Soviets are responsible for the killing of what is widely accepted to be the acceptable estimate, over 60 million people. Killed, starved, famined, sent to Siberia, sent to camps. The Soviets are the heroes in the lore of the West because they fought the Nazis, because the Nazis were the villains, because the Nazis had the Holocaust. They were killing the Jews, gypsies, blacks. They were going for global domination. And because the Soviets defeated the Nazis, the Soviets, who were responsible for killing more than the Nazis, are the heroes. They bring out this war hero on the basis that he fought the Soviets because the Soviets today are the enemy. These idiots do not understand history. Who fought the Soviets? The Nazis fought the Soviets.
I actually gave him some real advice. I said that if you actually say it louder, you learn to the House of Commons, if you repeat it and say it louder, that is your talking point. People will totally believe it.
Do just what we're told. We cry for change. You think we're crazy? It's not just my head. 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 But I'm dead when there's nothing left to live for. We all be better dead. 'Cause there's nothing left to live for. You know it's listening what we say. Things get rougher every day. Fucking air gets driving me crazy. Can't make any more. And do just what we're told. We cry for change. You think we're crazy? It's not just my head. 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 But I'm dead. 'Cause there's nothing left to live for. We all be better dead. When there's nothing left to live for. You know it's listening what we say. Things get rougher every day. Fucking air gets driving me crazy. Can't make any more. And do just what we're told. We cry for change. You think we're crazy? It's not just my head. It's not just my head. It's not just my head. It's not just my head.
You know, a lot of people ask why. Why treat the customer this way? Why? Because fuck them, that's why.
So you're confirming that accounts have been frozen, both personal and corporate, but you're not releasing the information. And the actual follow-up is, I'm just wondering whether the bank accounts will be targeted of individuals who donated to the Give, Send, Go and the GoFundMe campaigns. Are they considered designated people under the Emergencies Act, meaning that their credit cards could be cut and financial services are targeting them as well?
It's a trick. Get an axe.
And while our politicians divide our precious land, we speak in French and English, but they still don't understand that if you don't believe your country should come before yourself, you can better serve your country while living somewhere else. Whereby
Subscribe. Krenny Babes.